Hey guys, it's your girl Boonie, and you're listening to episode 65 of the Boonie Breakdown podcast. The podcast where we sometimes cry, we always laugh, we might get a bit ratchet, but we're forever gonna break it down. All right, guys, you know what time it is. It is time for a solo episode. I wasn't sure what I was gonna do for this episode. I will be honest. I did not properly plan, and piss poor planning is piss poor results. But I always keep something in the bag. But I had scheduled for KG to come on this episode, totally dropped the ball, and because he's an awesome dad, when I wanted to record this, he was in Hershey Park with the twins. So yeah. So then I took a poll on InstaSnap, like, should I do a solo episode or should I just use one of the interviews that I already have? And the majority vote on InstaSnap was a solo episode. So here we are. The first one for season 4. I want to say we've had some really great interviews so far this season, and I feel like some of the ones coming up are just as dope. So I can't wait for you to hear it. And I don't really do this ever, but I'm going to give you a preview for next week. Next week, the guest is Conjette Farrell, and she is a licensed sex, marriage, and family therapist, okay? We had a really good interview, and that'll be coming out next Monday. But for this episode, you're going to get story time with Boonie. It's been a while, but the story I'm going to share is actually pretty fucking funny. So let's get into Boonie's pick of the week. If you follow me over on Instagram, you saw that this week I announced that I will be an official ambassador for Mikey's Miracle Foundation for their 2018 Give More on 24 digital fundraising campaign. And Mikey's Miracle Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit, and it helps cancer patients and their families live healthy and productive lives in the fight against cancer. And as many of you know, I've shared on the podcast in previous episodes, episode 22, Let It Go, in particular. But cancer is a devastating illness and it affects millions of people. And I'm sure I'm not alone in this, where I have a personal story that involves cancer. And many of you know that 7 years ago, I lost my grandmother to stage 4 endometrial cancer. And it was devastating to me. And in her fight, I was one of her primary caregivers, and also I had her medical power of attorney. And I had to make a lot of difficult decisions regarding her health, some of the treatment that she received. And I know that I wish there had been a Mikey's Miracle Foundation around 7 years ago when I was involved in that process to help to help me as a caregiver stay strong in the fight against cancer, because you are battling just as hard as your loved one who is physically fighting the disease. And so on July 24th, that is Tuesday, it is the birthday of the inspiration behind the organization. And I am really, really good friends with the founder. She's also one of my line sisters, Jade. And her mother, that was her birthday. And the organization is named after her mom. And when her mom passed of cancer, she has totally thrown all of her energy and all of her effort in creating this wonderful organization in memory of her mother, but also meeting a huge need for so many people and so many families who are going through this battle. And so I know this is a little longer than my normal Boonie pick of the week, but it really is a very serious topic, and it's a cause that is very close to my heart. I don't support, let me back that up. Not that I don't support, but I really throw my support behind causes that have had truly impactful moments in my life or have impacted my life in some way. And so I also, donate to domestic violence. I donate time to cancer research, but I also have thrown my financial support behind Mikey's Miracle, because we oftentimes forget about the caregivers in this process. So we know that cancer just does not affect the patient, but it also affects friends and family members. And so this year they have set a fundraising goal of $4,500. And with this money, they are going to supply meal prep, and it will provide free weekly meals for patients and their family members, just to help them make it through the week. And so all I'm asking of you, my Boonie Breakdown community, if you know someone, you have a loved one, you know anyone who has been affected by cancer, if on Tuesday, July 24th, you can join me in making a small donation of $24, your $24 can make a big difference in the lives of those who are fighting against cancer. So you're probably asking, you know what, Boone, I'm in. I hear what you're saying. And where can I send my $24? And what you can do on, I will have a link in the show notes. I know this episode drops the day before, but honey, look, if you're going to write that check, you're going to send that PayPal, that Cash App, whatever, in the show notes, okay? In the show notes, there will be a link to my personal donation link on Facebook, which we've already begun to collect some funds there. And I will list all the other ways, a link to all the other ways that you can donate if you don't want to do it through Facebook. And I really just ask that you share it with other people on July 24th. Okay. It's the hashtag Give More on 24. It's a 24-hour online giving campaign. And yes, I'm really selling this because I've been there, caring for someone dying of cancer, doing injections, lifting them out of the bed, having to, change their diapers because they can no longer walk to the bathroom. And in those final moments of life, just having to even administer morphine to keep them comfortable, to learn how to administer them liquids because they can't swallow anymore, but they're thirsty. And so I've been there, and it takes a toll. And so I do not put my name, my image, my brand, whatever you want to say. I usually don't do this unless it's something that I truly believe in and I truly support. And you can hear me getting emotional right now, because I'm just thinking back to those moments with my grandmother, and they were trying. And so just think about what $24 is to you. That's a Starbucks lunch one day at work. And so if you can just give of that small donation to make a difference, and to lighten the load for some caregivers or people who are currently fighting the battle against cancer, I will love you long time. And so again, the links are in the show notes, and I hope you give, and I hope you spread the word. All right. That is my personal appeal for Boonie's Pick of the Week, Mikey's Miracle Foundation. All right, we're going to lighten this up because I don't want to sit here and cry because I feel the tears coming. We're getting to this housekeeping, and the feedback from last week's episode 64 with Kia from the Getting Grown podcast was phenomenal. I know that's probably going to be one of my most listened to podcast episodes. I was truly, truly serious when I said I had a fangirl moment. She's just so amazing, and we had such a good conversation. We probably could have talked a lot longer, but look, we both busy, and she's way, way busy. So I didn't want to take up too much of her time. But I really, really appreciate all the people saying, hey, girl, that was dope that I could have two people from my two favorite podcasts on the same episode. So that was dope. So again, thank you guys for listening and sharing that episode. And I also want to shout out all the new listeners who joined the tribe. Thank you. I appreciate you guys going back and listening to older episodes to kind of get to know me. And so I hope you stick around. If the last two episodes were your first time listening, go back and listen to some old episodes, and I hope you stick around. Also, I want to shout out the listeners in the UK and Canada. I see y'all popping. Go ahead and keep sharing. Keep sharing the podcast up there, and it's great to see it growing internationally. All right. You can remember to follow the Boonie Breakdown on IG and Facebook at the Boonie Breakdown. You can follow us on Twitter, Boonie Breakdown. And when sharing the episode, use the hashtag the Boonie Breakdown or hashtag PODIN, PODIN. That's it, guys. So let's get ready to break it down. All right, guys. I wanted to do a story time with Boonie because it's been a while since I've told you guys a really, really good, funny, slightly ratchet, just ridiculous ass story that involved me. And so here it goes. So we all have those moments like where we want to just like quickly run out the house and grab something. And if you I don't know where you guys live, but in the Northeast, I'm in Baltimore. It's been raining, like it's been really rainy this summer. And so I had gotten an alert that it was going to be some thunderstorms coming. And I was like, you know what? Let me just go run out and do this now, fill up my gas tank because I'm not going to want to do it in the morning. I get up really early because I commute. And so I'm like, I'm not going to want to go get gas in the morning. So you can just run, get gas, grab something, and then come home. So what did I do? Since I live alone again now, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. I'm in my house naked a lot. And so I didn't have any clothes on. And so instead of putting on bra and panties, I'm known to run out the house without a bra on. You know, thankfully, I'm in a position where I can do that and not look ridiculous. So I just threw on a long, flowy maxi dress. No panties, no bra. So I made one stop. It didn't require me to get out of the car. So I was like, okay, let me get the gas because the clouds are rolling in. It's starting to get dark. So I go over, park the car, get out. I'm at the little pump paying with my card. And you know how you feel eyes like burning into you? And so I'm looking around and I'm like, oh my God, like what? And behind me, it is a line for a really popular fast food chain. And so I was like, okay, maybe it's just people over there, you know, whatever. So I let it go. So I'm still like paying, putting in my zip code for my card or whatever. And I can just still feel like eyes burning at me. And so I'm like, oh my God, it's so weird. But I keep looking and I don't like really see, I can't catch anyone looking at me. So then all of a sudden, at the pump, like cat a corner to me, this guy, he like kind of the way he pulled up, his car came like around me. And so his pump could be at the side of his tank. And so he gets out, he is like grinning like it's Christmas morning. And so instantly he starts to flirt. And you know, ladies, you got, I know, and probably some guys too. But when you're not in the mood to be hit on or just to deal with that kind of energy, it's uber annoying, okay? And so I'm there like, here this nigga go. Like, here you go. I know he's going to say something. And so he's in my face grinning. Can I pump your gas? Can I do this? Oh, let me wash your car. Like he's going so far about how the way he wants to help me and da, da, da. So I did the classic. Oh, he's like, can I take you out? And I'm like, oh, I don't think my boyfriend will like that. And he was like, no, you're going to call that man. I'm going to have to talk to him because you're going to be mine, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to take you to dinner. I'm just going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this. And so I was like, oh my God, I'm trying to be polite. And while he's standing there, we're both pumping, like, and he's still talking and he's kind of stopped gushing, but he was just talking about my smile and you're so pretty. And all of a sudden it's like the raindrops are starting to fall. And where I was at the pump, I'm like, ooh, this dress is kind of thin. I could feel raindrops on my ass. Isn't that like a song, feeling raindrops on something like, but that's how I felt like raindrops keep falling on my ass. What is it? Raindrops keep falling on my head. That's the song, right? But that's how I felt like raindrops keep falling on my ass. And I was like, what? Like what? Like this dress? What? So I'm just like, okay, finally my tank is full. It clicks. I pull out. I turn around. So I turn around to pull the pump out, put it back into the thing, and close my gas tank up. So I'm turning the thing so it clicks, and because you don't need your check engine light come on. So I turn that bitch hard as fuck, so it click, right? And so he's like, you sure I can't take you out, ma'am? Because you're just so beautiful and da da da. And so I'm like, no, sir. I'm really serious. Like, I don't think my boyfriend will like it. And he's like, well, tell that man he's lucky. He's blessed. Da da da. So I'm like, oh, okay. Thanks, sir. Have a good day. Get in the car. But remember I said my dress is flowy. So I have to like gather it up once I sit down and then I close the door. So then I was like, oh, let me make one last stop. So I go into the Walgreens, perusing. Of course, Walgreens is one of my favorite stores, okay? So I can never just go into a Walgreens, get what the fuck I need, and go out. Like, I usually don't buy a lot, but I will peruse where the sale. Ooh, maybe I should stock up on this because they got the buy one, get one free, whatever. So I'm in there a little longer, like a normal length trip, but it's a long time. So I go to the register, pay what I have to do. The guy behind me in the register, oh, ma'am, you need me to carry this to your car? Da, 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 da. And I'm like, no, I'm fine. I can carry this one bag to my car. Are you sure? So then I leave out the Walgreens, get in my car, close the door. And so because I've been really, really, really focused on not texting and driving. So I was sitting in my car, just like sending off some texts before I pulled off and drove home. And he comes out like, you sure you don't need no help when you get home? Sir, no, you're not coming to my house. Like, I don't know you. So I just like waved and like, I'm good. And I was like, okay, let me just leave. Go home, drive. As I'm getting out the car, my neighbor across the street is there. And he's like, I heard him go, which is odd because what? Like, what? So it's just really super odd to me. But I look back and he just smiled and I walk. It's like an older man. And I just walk into the house. So I get in the house, but in order to like run up my steps, I had to like gather my dress up so I didn't trip as I run up the steps. Put down the one bag in the hallway and I go into my bedroom. And for some reason, I don't know what I really did, but I like gathered my dress again and my hand went into a hole and I was touching my bare ass. Baby. When I tell y'all, okay, I'm telling y'all, like when I tell y'all the back of my dress was split from my waist to probably my knees and all of my big high yellow ass was out for the world. That's why I kept feeling the raindrops on my ass. That's why the nigga is in my face grinning. Can I help you with your bags? You need help when you get home? I'm assed out. Remind you, I didn't have no panties on. Remember, I ran out the house with no bra and panties on. And nobody, it was women at the gas station, women in the Walgreens. All this time, nobody told me my ass was hanging out. Now, because I love y'all, I think I still have the picture. Like, I text the picture to Bae, like, oh my God, like, what the fuck? So I still have the picture. I think I sent it to my mom too. Like, oh my God. I'm going to show y'all because I don't mind. I'm going to post the picture in my Insta stories, okay? So you guys can see the magnitude of this. But I really want you to know that the dress is so flowy that it wasn't just like a fitted maxi dress. So as the wind was blowing, because it's getting ready to rain, it was showing the hole, and that's why the rain was falling on my ass. Y'all, when I talk about mortified, and I just pray that I'm not on the internet, because y'all know one of my biggest fears in life, like my biggest fear in life, one of them is becoming a meme. Oh my God, guys. I was like, wait until I share this with them, because I don't think people, when I show you guys the size of this hole, y'all gonna look at me sideways like, bitch, how the fuck you ain't feel that shit? I really didn't until the raindrops, but that wasn't even enough for me to pause to like feel back there or look back there to see what was happening. Y'all, I just, I keep laughing at myself for that one because I am a fool. And I just feel like of all the times that this happened to me, why couldn't I have had on some cute panties, some lace panties? But I legit was out here asked the fuck out for all of that area to see. And, you know, I was thinking afterwards, once I got home, people probably were in the drive-through line of the fast food place behind the gas station looking at the wind blow like, oh my God, that lady's ass is out. But it was nothing that they can do. Like if they honked, I probably would have rolled my eyes. I wouldn't have kept paying attention. But like, what? Like, so now I learned a lesson. At least wear panties the next time I run out the house. The one time I wear no panties, I was asked the fuck out. All right. So I'm moving on. I know in last week's episode 64, my boonie pick of the week was the show Love Is. And I will still say, like, overall, I enjoy the show. Like, it's not well done. And I'm sorry. Let me backtrack. It is well done. I'm sorry. But my thoughts on it, because the show we've gotten like another episode or two in since I recorded that. And I just wanted to say, I'm gonna update my boonie pick of the week. And I've never done this. I've never had to go back and backtrack on something I said, but I will admit that watching the Love Is show, even though it's really well done, it's well shot. The casting is great. The music on the show is phenomenal. That I've been trying to find a Spotify playlist for the show. But I will also say it has showed me things that I am not willing to do for love. Like when I guess I kind of forgot that the time frame in which this show is actually taking place so far. And it's only been like a week. And so when you say that in the scope of the show, it is a bit like, how is this realistic? But the show has shown me it showed me that I'm not willing to do a lot of shit for love. Because the shit that Nori is actually kind of putting up with Yasir is amazing. And all this back and forth, like it's set in the 90s, so there were no cell phones and iPhones. But even if there were, this motherfucker ain't have shit, right? And so she couldn't get him. Like, he ain't had no phone, he ain't had no job, he ain't had no car, he ain't had no house. Like, this nigga was just out here broke. And so I know that if I were approached with a Yasir right now, I probably would not give him the time of day. And so watching when someone put that frame reference, I can't remember who said that, about the time frame in which this has happened, it does make the show a bit unrealistic, but I will still stand by the fact that I do think the show is well done, and they did do a good job with that. But yeah, that would not be my love story, because nah. And I also wanted to point out, and this isn't just restrictive to Love Is, but in one of the episodes, it's like, has anyone ever in real life, ever, you're just making out heavy with a guy and you're kissing and fondling, or a girl, whatever, but you're doing all this with your person and you stop making out to light a goddamn room of candles, like a gazillion candles, and then you start fucking. We see this a lot in the movies and in television shows. And I'm like, who the fuck does that in real life? And like, why do they constantly always put that in TV shows and movies for these romantic sex scenes? Because that never happens in real life. It's one thing if you lit all the candles prior to the person coming. But a lot of these sex scenes, they legit are like making out, ripping off each other's clothes, can barely get into the house. And then next thing you know, they're in the bed or they're on the floor. And behind them, it's 9,000 candles lit. The lights are off. It's usually raining or thunderstorming outside. Like, what the fuck? And so it's kind of one of those, like, this is not real life. But still, like, why even put them in the show? Because no one did that in real life. So why do they even think this is okay to put into a TV show? But that really bothered me the last episode. And I think also the last episode, I watched it with Twitter. So that might have been my mistake number 2. So in watching it with Twitter, it highlighted some of the things that I probably was overlooking just because I thought it was cute. But all that aside, I will still say that you should check out Love Is, because again, it's another Black show with a Black cast, Black, behind the scenes people, and Mara Brock-Akil and her husband are dope. So yeah, but I will say from jump, I always thought it was weird that they fucking said I love you on the first date. Like, okay, but check it out and let me know if my addendum to last week's pick of the week is suitable and acceptable for those of you who who were anxious about it and upset that I would even make love is my Boonie pick of the week. Before we close out this episode, I would like each of you as you're listening to just close your eyes and take a second to plant your feet firmly on the ground. And if you're driving, don't close your eyes. Don't try to sue me. But just kind of focus on the words of this meditation and allow yourself to relax as you take a deep breath in and then breathe out through your mouth. And just let all the motherfucking bullshit of the day or of the past week just leave your mind with each inhale and each exhale. So again, breathe in through your nose and breathe out through your mouth. Now imagine that the following affirmation is true. Believe it. I am in charge of my fucking destination. Deep breath in, exhale out. My dreams are possible and attainable. Deep breath in, exhale out through your mouth. I deserve to have at least one amazing orgasm this week. Deep breath in, and then a deep breath out. I will begin to shift my energy from needy and complacent to powerful and confident. Again, another deep breath in, and we'll exhale through your mouth. And I want you to slowly begin to open your eyes. The ratchet in me honors the ratchet in you. Hold my stay. Hadn't done a ratchet meditation in a while, guys. And if you would like to grab your Home I Stay or Responsible and Ratchet, or the Ratchet in Me honors the Ratchet in You teas and tanks, don't forget the 10% off code over orders of $20 and more ends today, Monday, July 23rd, 2018. Use the code BOONIEPOD, P-O-D, if you would like to grab that. And you could take a little bit of your ratchet meditation with you and share it with the world. I love you guys for the support. The orders are coming in and we're shipping them out as fast as we can. We actually are sold out in a few sizes. So those of you who've ordered and your size is sold out, you received an email letting you know that it will take a few days longer as we to put in another order to accommodate your order. So that's awesome. Thanks, guys. And again, I want to thank you all for rocking with me and the podcast. And if you enjoyed this episode, and I encourage you to listen to past episodes and subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, Stitcher, and Google Podcasts, or any app that you listen to your favorites on. Don't forget to leave a review too. You can do that in Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and on our Facebook page. You might hear your review on the next episode. Follow us on all social media. Share the episode with those you love, those you don't love, those you fucking hate. I don't make those pretty images for nothing. Have a dope ass week. Okay, guys, really, I mean it. Have a dope ass week. Thank you for listening. Until next time.